without any confirmation of the constituency results that make up that summary. But I signed that one. That's Upper West Region.
Go to the next region.
Northern region. Northern region, I had problems with that one. I had problems with Northern region.
So you didn't certify that one? You didn't certify Northern region?
I was taking up issue with the EC.
You did not certify Northern region. Please answer the question. You did not certify Northern region. Is that correct?
No, I did not certify Northern region.
So let's go to the next.
Very well. Ahafo.
Yes, we are waiting for you.
I certified Ahafo without having full access to the relevant constituency summary sheets that led to this summary, but I signed it.
What other region? You have mentioned three.
Central region.
Yes.
I signed Central region, but I had serious observations on the summary sheets in the way it was signed. Because if I'm permitted to show it in evidence, it will become very clear.
To the next region. Let's go on to the next region.
Very well. Volta region.
Yes.
Volta. I certified Volta region.
Good. Let's go
again without the full complement of confirmation of the various constituency results.
Fine. Let's go on to the next.
Western North region. I signed Western North region, but we had issues with Sefri also.
Yes. Okay. Let's go on to the next.
I did not certify Greater Accra region.
Good. Let's go on to the next.
Because there were issues with the Greater Accra region summary sheets and how they came into the strong room.
Let's go on to the next.
Eastern region. Eastern region. In the case of Eastern region, we received two different summary sheets in the strong room.
Did you certify Eastern or you did not?
I did, but I was raising subsequent issues with the commissioner, and this was one of the regions with which I had issue. Eastern region, there were two results sent to the EC strong room. Two results.
Your evidence in chief.
The law provides for only one summary sheet.
Listen to me. You have said so in your evidence in chief. Your two previous colleagues have spoken about it. Your answer to the question is that you certified Eastern. Is that not so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Go to the next region.
Pardon?
Go to the next region.
Does it mean you are not asking the question on the...
with my answer. Go to the next region.
Very well. Bono East.
Yes.
We had issues with Bono East.
Did you certify or not?
Bono East was one of the summary sheets I did not sign. I'm answering the question. Can you be patient with me?
Okay, so
I did not sign Bono East. I did not sign Bono East.
Let's go on to the next region.
OT region. I did not I observed some issues with OT.
Or you did not? OT.
But I certified. But I observed some challenges with OT, but I signed.
Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next.
Western region.
Yes.
I certified, but I drew attention to the EC to some anomalies which they corrected.
Let's go on to the next.
I signed.
Yes, good. Let's go on to the next.
I believe I've done Central region already.
You have. Let me assist you what is left. We have Northeast, Bono, Upper East.
Okay. Northeast. Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
I signed, but we had issues with the summation.
No problem. Now, Bono. Bono.
Mm. I signed Bono, but we had issues. I signed Bono, but we had issues.
Fantastic. Let's go.
German
Upper East. Upper East.
Upper East.
Mm-hmm. Savannah.
I signed Upper East region.
Great. Now let's go to Savannah.
Without the full complement of a confirmation from the constituencies.
Yes, so that is no worries. Let's go to Savannah.
Come again.
Let's go to Savannah.
Savannah.
Order in court, please. Order.
My lord, I cannot immediately find Savannah.
You cannot immediately? You are not talking about the now, we are talking about the then. Did you sign Savannah?
My lord, I wish to remind you that I said I needed to refresh my memory by looking at the very document before me. And if I cannot find Savannah, you're asking me to recall? I've just told you that I needed to refresh my memory by looking at the fiscal documents.
Have you found Savannah amongst your documents?
I believe I told your lordship that I was looking for Savannah.
All right, look for it. I'll wait for you.
Very well.
Are you waiting for me or I'm waiting for you? Look, let me put it to you so we move on. I am putting it to you that you certified Savannah and your agent called Mumuni S. Ibni signed on that form in the region before it came to Accra. I'm putting that to you. I need an answer so I can move on.
My lords, I have some issue with the microphone here. Can you please repeat the question?
I am saying that I am putting it to you that you certified Savannah and your agent in the region called Mumuni S. Ibni signed at the region before it came to the national.
That is correct.
Good. Now, the forms that you have before you, you know, on the right side, where they sign, there's a column that if you would not sign, you need to give reasons for your refusal or your failure to sign. Do you see that column?
Yes, I see the column.
Good. Now, I am putting it to you that all the forms that your regional agents did not sign, they didn't assign a single reason for their refusal to sign. I'm putting that to you.
My lord, could you repeat the question? Could you repeat the question?
I am saying that of all the forms that your agent in the regions did not sign, apart from Western North that you certified, they didn't assign any reason on the right column for their refusal to sign those forms. I'm putting that to you.
On the face of the summary sheets, that is the situation, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have issues.
No problem. Now, I am also putting it to you that if you look at the rules, the first respondent, together with you, the agents, were supposed to assemble and collate the presidential election results from the regions provided by the various regional collation officers as set out in Form 12 of the schedule. I'm putting that to you.
That is the rule, but not the practice. We are in court to review the performance relating to the practice and the efficiency with which they declare the results. That's why we're in court.
Mr. Witness,
we are specifically
the court will determine the reliefs. We can't have the lawyers speaking. This is so. All right, go on.
I'm saying that yes, there is a provision for reasons if you refuse to sign. There are reasons if you refuse to sign. But I'm saying that even the EC's own officials certified various summary sheets in error. The blame is not only on party representatives and agents. The official representatives of the returning officer also certify results. They were not just there to just fill forms and forward it. They were there to make sure that the result of what was being forwarded was accurate and was not giving the opportunity for votes that had been cast to be lost in the declaration.
So speak for yourself. You are by this telling the court that your agents, including you, failed the petitioner monumentally by signing forms when they shouldn't sign, failing to assign reasons when they should. I am putting that to you.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Because on many occasions in the strong room even, the EC itself and its officials found the need to amend summary sheets of the regions. These had already been signed by the regional representatives, but they found it necessary to cause the various results to be re-amended without the presence of our agents. Without the presence of our agents. And it's for that reason that the returning officer, who is Jean Mensah, was expected to give an opportunity for redress before the final declaration. And that is why we went to seek audience with her. So, apart from the 4 regional summary sheets that I did not sign, apart from the 4 regional sheets that I did not sign, we later on discovered, for example, that there were other regions that had issues. And if they had been minded to have that amended, we would not be in this situation we are in now.
Right.
Dr. Afarijan gave opportunity in the past for some of these things to be rectified. He did. He gave opportunity for these things to be rectified.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, you recall that you indicated to the court that you have familiarized yourself with the rules under CI 127, not so?
That is correct.
Are you well aware that CI 127 revoked the arrangements that used to be the practice under Afarijan, as you have said? Are you aware?
It did not entirely revoke that. It said that in the new amendment and in the new arrangement, you must still maintain best practices. They didn't throw out everything in the previous thing. They said you must have best practices. Best practices.
Good. When did you leave the strong room for the second time on the 9th?
I left the strong room. The first time I left the strong room was when the EC sacked me from the strong room. That was the first time I left the room.
When was
the
this?
EC sacked me from the strong room.
When was this?
It had never happened before.
When was
In
this?
previous elections, I stayed there for 72 hours.
When was this?
That I left the strong room for the second time.
For the second time, that's what I'm asking you.
I left the strong room the second time to seek audience with the electoral commissioner. That was when, come again?
The time of the day.
It was somewhere between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
On what day?
But you have already said it's on the 9th. It's on the 9th.
Well, if you are being rude, it's to the court, not to me.
No, you made the question. You said that on the 9th, when was the second time you left the room? And I'm answering. Then you are trying to, divert me to make some other statement. You are talking about the 9th, and I'm responding to you on the 9th that I left the room for the second time between 3 and 4.
At the time you were leaving, had you seen the forms for the northern region? The regional
By the time I was leaving, yes, I had seen the forms for the northern region, and I had issues with the forms for the northern region, yes. And that was one of the reasons I went to see the commissioner.
You had earlier told the court that you didn't sign that form. That is fine, but I just want to find out from you whether at the time you were leaving, you had seen the form from the northern region. Now, I believe that you answered that you had seen the form.
I can also tell you exactly the time I saw the forms.
Okay, that'll be fine. Tell us.
northern region, forms were faxed to the strong room at 3:47 p.m. PM. 3:47 p.m.
On what day?
On the 9th.
Thank you very much. So, at the time that you were leaving the strong room, all the original sheets had come. I am putting that to you. All had come. The northern was the last to come. I'm putting that to you.
As correct summary sheets.
As the summary sheets. You had seen all of them.
There's a distinction that has to be made.
Please answer my question. Leave the distinction for the
then that is not correct, because Greater Accra was outstanding. Eastern region was outstanding, to the best of my knowledge.
No.
Bono East was out. No, just a minute. In terms of correct summary sheets, you can fax something to the strong room, but it may not be correct. And the issue raised here is
Rojo Mettle. Please, Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, sorry. Please, this is a very simple question. Go straight to the point. He's not asking you genuine or whatever, or correct or incorrect or whatever. He's asking you a very simple question. Let's try and make some headway.
I repeat that at the time that you were leaving after 3:47 p.m., when the northern sheet had come, all the 16 written summary sheets had come, and you had seen them.
All the 16?
Yes.
All the 16?
Yes.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Even though we had issues with some of the summary sheets.
Now the petitioner has always had a problem with the chairperson of the EC, not so?
I do not exactly know what you mean by that.
When the chairperson of the EC was appointed, the petitioner and your party raised issues with that appointment. Is that not so?
My who and my who? I didn't hear the question.
I said the petitioner and your party, the NDC party.
I heard anti. That is why I said who. I didn't hear party. I heard
NDC party.
Order in court, please. Order.
You had issues. You raised issues with her appointment, not so?
Not that I recall.
Good.
Not that I recall.
Okay. And when the EC decided to have a new register, your party took the matter to court, not so?
I read that in the news.
Now, prior to the 7th December elections, your party variously raised issues about the performance of the chairperson of the EC, not so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm saying that prior the events, the timing leading to the 7th December elections, your party and the petitioner raised issues about the performance of the chairperson of the EC, not so?
That I do recall.
Do you recall that?
Yes, I do. In great detail. In great detail.
Good. Now, in spite of that, You want this court and the people of Ghana to believe that the person that you have distrusted so much tells you to leave the strong room and go to the petitioner, and you left, both of you. Huh? Tell us.
My lords, there are two different issues here. I was asked by the petitioner to represent him with a team. I was there with Dr. Professor White to represent him in a very specific mandate. The presidential candidate, in spite of all the things you said, did not say he was withdrawing from the poll because of all the things you alluded to. He still took part in the elections. No. And as required by law, the returning officer was also supposed to be an independent returning officer, to be fair, to be transparent, and to run an election with integrity. So under those three principles, I was asked to go into the strong room to defend his interests to the best of my ability.
At IPAC, it was decided that each political party or each candidate will have at least 4 accreditations, with 2 in the strong room at every point in time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Good. So it means that at the time that you were leaving to the petitioner's residence, you had 2 backup people who could represent the petitioner in the strong room, not so?
My lords, let me put it on record that on the 9th, no strong room activity was ongoing, and at the time that I went to see the electoral commissioner, we had 4 regions that had not been dealt with. We also had a situation where the commissioner herself, performing her functions as the returning officer, directed the 2 of us to go and send a message to the petitioner. So long as he left, the functions of the representatives could not continue, because the other 2 would not have the same appreciation of the specific issues that we were dealing with. It's not like a relay race where you just hand over a baton. You must deal with the specific issues.
So you agree with me?
And she was minded by that. She knew that we were not in the strong room. She knew that she had directed us to leave, and she told us that she would give us a police escort to bring us back in time if we had traffic challenges. She knew.
You see, I am asking you again that at the time that you left, you had the opportunity to have 2 other people represent you in the strong room. Yes or no?
And I've answered you as follows: that in as much as we had 2 opportunities to replace the representatives, the specific issues for which we left the strong room were such that any other 2 people would not have the same appreciation of the issues, and therefore they could not continue to perform the functions as representatives of the petitioner in the strong room.
Now,
and that is a statement of fact.
So you are saying that in spite of the fact that it was agreed that you could replace, you in leaving decided not to be replaced. That is the case, not so?
That is not the case. In the case of the MPP, you had Magmeno, John Bwedu, and so many other people in the strong room, even though 2 people were supposed to have been only in the strong room at the time. Why is it that they were permitted to be in the room? Why were they permitted to be in the room?
Your answer reminds me of the parable. Anyway, my lords, I leave it. I leave it. Now, in your evidence in chief, you stated that you had been at the EC headquarters for 3 days and somebody brought you change of clothing, not so? A shirt.
That is correct.
Now, in the same witness statement, you said that when I arrived on the 9th, you said so, that when I arrived on the 9th, let me just go through it.
Which specific item are you dealing with?
Yes. The first paragraph I referred to was paragraph 26. The second one, paragraph 22. Paragraph
22.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said, the beginning says that it was in the light of the experiences of different regional certification processes and the posture of the EC officials in the strong room on the 9th that, on behalf of my colleagues and myself, I sought to consult with the EC. I also needed to receive feedback on the conveys the previous day, particularly I had learned from the officials, particularly as I had learned from officials at the NDC headquarters before I got to the EC headquarters on the 9th. So, you see that?
Yes, I've seen that.
Good. The two conflicting portions of your witness statement, can you clarify the court? Where were you coming from on the 9th? Where were you coming from?
In the early hours of the 9th, I was sacked from the EC strong room. And I had to drive from Accra all the way to Committee 25, where I reside. This was around 2 a.m. of the 9th. I then had to wake up very early and go through another 2 hours of traffic on that eastern corridor back to the EC office.
So, okay, I'll leave this point. It is clear that you have not been a truthful witness, even on your own evidence in chief. I'm putting it to you that your evidence in chief is full of untruths, and if they are true, they are half-truths. I'm putting that to you.
Lord, with the greatest respect, the witness has not been shown untruths in his testimony such that the witness was just given an example. One example, when I arrived on the morning, the witness explained clearly he had to drive and so on.
It's not any damaging question. Which, no, you always put to a witness that he's not being truthful. Yes. So please let it go.
Do you recall that on the 9th as well, please, can you answer the question?
What is the question?
The question to you is that even in your witness statements, you have told the court untruths and half-truths. I put it to you.
That is absolutely untrue. Absolutely untrue.
Now,
I swore on oath to tell the truth, and I told the court nothing but the truth.
Now, do you recall that on the 9th, you granted again an interview to your favorite Kwesi Parker Wilson at the NDC headquarters?
Yes, I do recall.
Now, you recall you said
yes.
You recall you said this, among others, because I don't have the documentation in front of me, it is becoming a challenge for you to appreciate what I am saying, but create another opportunity for me and my other colleague in the EC, and we will show Ghanaians and the global community the fraud that has been perpetrated on the people of Ghana. Let me emphasize, President Nana Akufo-Addo did not win the presidential election. He did not. He did not. And I repeat emphatically, he did not. I was in the EC. I was representing the party in the EC. And I'm saying that on the face of the evidence provided, Nana Addo Dankwa did not win the election. You recall that?
Yes, and where in that statement does it show that I'm contradicting myself in terms of time?
No,
where?
I didn't ask you.
Mr. Rojo, please come straight. He is asking you whether you did grant that interview. It's very simple, you recall.
Yes, the answer is I granted the interview, yes. I granted the interview.
Now, I am putting it to you that even as of today that you are testifying, you have brought no such proof to the court. I'm putting it to you. My Lord, well. I am putting it to you that even as you speak, the petitioner has not brought any such proof to the court.
My lords, the petitioner is seeking very specific reliefs of the court. And the statement and interview I granted is not in evidence because the legal arguments of the petitioner does not require that at this stage. It's not one of the pleadings. He is specifically asking the returning officer to declare the true results of the 2020 poll. The 2020 poll, there has been one declaration, several press conferences or press releases, and there can be only one declaration. One declaration. And so the petitioner's response for me as a witness was to show my performance and presence in the EC strong room. That is what I was supposed to address.
Oh, we'll come to that. Mr. Robert Joseph Mettle-Nunoo, you say in paragraph 31 of your witness statement that you are a veteran of the strong room since 1992, not so?
The longest serving representative of any political party.
Great. Now, is it the first time you have left your post to consult with your candidate, or you have engaged in the practice previously?
It is not the first time. It is not the first time. In my engagement with previous returning officers of the presidential poll, I had had occasion to leave the strong room to go and speak to a person I was representing in the strong room. And then I returned with the understanding that I had been sent to do so. And in this particular instance, I had also been sent to do so.
Oh, so you want the court to believe that various chairpersons of the EC send you and you obey. Is that the position?
As and when it was necessary to do so. As and when, in order to resolve the issues. For example, in the election that took us to time, it was a result of the consultative process that was available to us that brought all the political parties to a meeting called by the EC chair to agree that the only way to resolve the issue of the deadlock was to have a by-election, a runoff in time.
And at all
That
times when you are living, all of you, all the representatives or the agents of the candidate in the strong room leave without any backup representation. That is what you want this country to believe, and also.
That is the case, and that is what my testimony says. That is the case.
Now, you say that you identified issues in the strong room, not so? You identified issues that needed resolution in the strong room, not so?
Correct.
Now, should you not, as a representative of the candidate, not be in the strong room to do the work you are assigned to do?
Can you repeat that question again?
Should you not, as a representative of the candidate in the strong room, should you not have stayed in the strong room to do the work that he assigned you to do?
My lords, in the strong room, the activities of the presidential representative is to cooperate with the EC for the declaration of the true results. And as a team leader of the group, it was my responsibility to consult Dr. Sribopak. I consulted Mr. Tete, and then I also went to consult with the commissioner. And in all those situations, the EC's offices were not in one place. I spoke to Sribopak in the strong room. I spoke to Mr. Tete in Jean Mensah's office, and I spoke to Jean Mensah in her office.
Okay, that reminds me. When you went to Jean Mensah's office to speak to the people that you are speaking about, was she the one who invited you, or you left the strong room of your own volition?
I informed Dr. Sribopak that I was going to see the commissioner. I also informed Mr. Tete that I was going to see the commissioner. I did. And then when I made the phone call, to Jean Mensah, she invited me to come.
The question is, when you left the strong room to go and meet with the commissioner in her office, it was of your own volition, your own free will. Is that not so?
It was not just a simple matter of my own free will. It was a function of me being a representative of a presidential candidate, and in order to do my work properly, officially, it's not about my own free will. I was performing an official function. It is not about my own free will. I was performing an official function.
When you went, you were in that secretariat for close to 3 hours. Is that not so?
Because I was told to wait.
Answer the question.
I was told
in that secretariat for close to 3 hours.
Told to wait, and it is for that reason that I was shown the reception area to her office, and I kept on waiting until 10. She asked me to wait for her in her office reception.
Mr. Chikata, may I have your attention? Please, can you let your witness be very, very, very specific or brief on some of these simple issues? Very, 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 very simple. I don't know where he's dragging this. He was asking a simple question.
My Lord, I do not wish to interfere with the answers of the witness.
The witness is your witness. Here to help the court to elicit information to help us arrive at the truth.
Yes, my lord, if you take the answer that he was in the process of giving, he says you were there for 3 hours, and he says he was there
Mr.
because...
Mengo, you go.
Tell us how long you were there for.
Can you ask, I didn't hear the question.
Tell the court how long you were in the secretariat for.
Oh, it was a considerable length of time. It was a considerable length of time.
Yes.
Because the commissioner was not there, and
you had left the strong room, not so?
that is correct.
And even whilst there, you were offered tea and biscuits, not so?
I was offered tea. I wasn't offered any biscuits.
Order, order. Order in court, please. Order. Order, please.
I am putting it to you that on that occasion, as well as the 4 p.m. when you left the strong room, you did so on your own free will and volition.
That is not correct. It was not on my own free will.
Now, I am putting it to you that all the grievances stated in your witness statements are afterthoughts. They are afterthoughts. I am putting that to you.
That is not correct. The process of function in the strong room is a process. It's a process. And the issues that I was going to discuss with the EC Commissioner are issues arising out of the performance of my function in the strong room. How can they be afterthoughts?
I am further putting it to you.
How can they be afterthoughts?
I am further putting it to you that you couch them after you heard the wobbly testimonies of the first and second witnesses of the petitioner. I'm further putting it to you.
That is not correct. I am giving a testimony of my own performance as a team member representing the flag bearer. That is not correct.
You see, your witness statement and the evidence you have given is a bad explanation for the bad job that you did for the petitioner.
You are being judgmental. That is not fact. You are being judgmental. I was performing a function, and I was supposed to protect the interest of my candidate, my presidential candidate. And I did it based on my knowledge, past experience, and a certain sense of high maturity in the strong room. If I misconducted myself, this country would be in war by now. You need to appreciate that. It was my mature handling, my very mature handling of the situation. And don't forget, the EC chair said that she was going to declare the results in 24 hours. She said she was going to declare the results in 24 hours. And there were so many anomalies. So many anomalies.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, having delivered your lecture, I want you to come back and answer my question. I'm saying that your witness statement is a bad explanation for the bad job you did for the petitioner.
And I'm saying that is not correct. You are not the chief examiner here. That is not correct.
Now, in order to hide your shortcomings, you went to the petitioner and to your party faithful and fed them untruths. I'm putting that to you.
My lords, it is your client that you are representing. It is your client that is being untruthful. She is supposed to declare credible election results. And she has declared multiple results. It is your client that is being untruthful to the people of Ghana, to the people of this republic.
Please listen to the question and answer. It's a very straightforward answer. Yes, he is asking you, he is putting it to you that we are not being truthful. Period.
And I said, I'm being truthful. I said, your Lord, I said, I'm being truthful. And because he also preempted his statement with all those innuendos, and the fact that he was trying to impugn my integrity, I'm telling him that it is his client who is not being untruthful and is not telling the people of Ghana the true result of the elections.
You recall the 2008 conduct in the strong room. You remember?
Yes, I do remember.
When you said that I am Rojo Mettle-Nunoo, and that if Kwabena Dupont didn't take his time, you are going to go at him one-on-one. You remember?
That is correct. And I told him that in the face because he was trying to change the results.
You see, I am putting it to you. I am putting it to you that that character of yours is what you have just displayed for the court.
I have a temperament for fairness. I have a temperament for telling the truth. I have a temperament that makes me want to fight to defend the integrity of my name.
You have a temperament known as ungovernable character. My Lord, that will be all.
My Lord, do I have the right